Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are. As always, thank you for watching. Before we go any further, make sure you hit the subscribe button and like this video, share it, and hopefully this will be a message that speaks to you. You know, right now there's so much going on. We got the election coming up, we've got riots, we have COVID, we have just so much stuff going on. And, you know, it's not the first time in history that all this has happened, right? I lived through riots myself and have seen racial unrest before. It's not a big deal in that arena for me. Like, oh wow, this is so surprising where we're at. You know, the news people are saying, oh, this is the worst it's ever been. No, actually, this happens every so many years, and then every so many years it gets really bad, but it's really not that big of a deal in some ways. The big issue right now is we're rewriting history, and that's the big thing. But without getting into all of that, you know, the Bible's clear that in the end days there will be a lack of love. People will be, you know, Timothy says there will be lovers of themselves. They'll be boastful and arrogant, lovers of money. And actually, if you look at the book of Matthew, it says in the end days that people will lack love. They will be without love, and they won't love others because of the amount of civil unrest, or the lawlessness is actually the term that's used. So what's amazing is when you look at this run that's taking place right now, and it's very comparable in some ways back to the hippie, you know, movement and all that. The thing is, when the hippie movement, everything was about love. Like, even though their love was not put in the right place, it was the free love and all that kind of stuff. The goal was make love, not war. And while, you know, we look at it now and say, look, sometimes war is necessary, right? To every season, there is, you know, sometimes there's a time for war, sometimes there's a time for peace. But when we look at what's going on right now, there's no call for love. There's none. Zero. And what's really junky and just trash is that even the people who are conservative are not loving other people either. So people who say they're Christian and whatever, they have so much hate in their heart right now anyways. We're not going anywhere. We're not getting anywhere. We're not progressing. We're degressing. If anybody thinks evolution is real, this is the moment right in history where you can see evolution is garbage. Evolution says we should be getting better as time goes on, and this is not getting better. We're becoming animalistic in a lot of ways. You know, it's oh, you walked into my neighborhood, I'm going to eat you. You know, it's kind of our mentality right now, and it's ridiculous. And I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If you don't have love, you cannot claim to be a Christian. So if you hate your fellow man because of their political affiliation, who they're voting for, anything like that, you don't know God. I can tell you that right now. That's a reality. If you hate anybody because of their political affiliation, you don't know God. If you hate Donald Trump, you don't know God. I can tell you that right now. Now, you can hate the things that maybe Donald Trump stands for or whatever, but that's not what we're seeing. What we're seeing is pure hatred of the person. And that's ridiculous. That's where things got to get swapped. And I, you know, the other day something was said in our house where it said something about Biden. And I said, whoa. You call Mr. Biden, whatever. I don't care for Biden politically. I don't like the guy politically. I don't like his politics. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I hate the man. The same way as when Barack Obama was president, I always was careful to make sure I referred to him as President Obama. I didn't care for his politics, but I always said he's probably the kind of guy that I probably wouldn't mind sitting down and drinking a cup of coffee with and talking to him. That's how you're supposed to be. It's amazing how Donald Trump was the world's coolest person until he became president, and then all of a sudden we hate Donald Trump. And that's how we are now. And it's like, good night, people. Come on. I don't care what you are politically, but to hate somebody because of their politics is just ridiculous. It makes no sense at all. And and it's the culture we live in. Hate is everywhere. We don't like correction at all. Do not correct anybody because they will hate you the second you do. People can put lies and mistruths all over Facebook and Twitter and whatever account they want. And if you go and you say, wait a minute, you're wrong here. And yes, there is times where you can be right, and there's times where you can be wrong, and there's times where you can be both, depending on what the situation is. But to say that, oh, you said I'm wrong, so I'm going to block you and whatever. No, stand up and defend yourself if that's the case. If you really think what you said was right, then defend it. But it's just ridiculous, the times we live in. This is demonic. This is the demonic end times that God spoke about. That in the end times, the demonic will take over, and there will be a lack of love among the people. And so we need to be careful of that. We need to be aware of it. And again, if you don't love somebody simply put, because of their political stance, you don't know God. You really don't. And you need to rethink your life. And you need to ask God to forgive you for the hate in your life. You need to ask God to help you find love for whoever or whatever. Because if you have hatred, it's one of the things, like, Star Wars was very new agey in the way that they handled a lot of their stuff. But a lot of it was based on some fact that hate does lead to the demonic realm. And that's basically what they're saying in Star Wars is hate will lead to the dark side. The dark side is the demonic realm. And if you go and you seek after hatred, it will lead you straight to the demonic realm. And I see so many people that are filled with hate, and then they find more things to hate, more things to hate, more things to hate. And the next thing you know, they're just demonic. They don't even know who they are anymore. And it's a sad place to be. So, as much as, like, I'm not a big fan of the hippie movement because it was very disruptive to a lot of things that were going right. The focus of love was at least a neat thing. And I wish we could bring that back to some extent. Okay, cool, we're burning down cities because we're upset. Well, where's the love in that? Oh, I hate this person because they burned down my city. Well, where's the love in that? It's not right, And like I said, the book of Matthew says that because of the lawlessness in the end times, the hearts of many will grow cold. And that's what we're seeing, is the hearts are just growing cold. And we need to ask God to forgive us for our hatred, and just ask God to bring love back into all these situations. For God so loved the world that he sent his only Son, that whoever believes in him will not perish but have everlasting life. For God so loved the world. That's powerful. Because right now we're mad about political stances and stuff. God loved the world, even knowing that what they would do to his Son, that they would turn their back on him, all this stuff. And he still had love. And I think that's what we need. We need more love. So, COVID, it's wrapping this up. I was going to say go hug somebody. But, with COVID, it's been so strategic in removing that ability to go and hug people and love on people. And I think maybe we need to get over our fear of COVID and start loving, or at least find ways, if you're afraid to hug people, find a different way to pass some love on, because we need it. We need it now more than ever. All right. That's it for today. But God loves you. I love you. Go love somebody else, and have a great day. All right.